Okay, let's dive right in. You know that feeling when you start a story and you think you know exactly what genre you're dealing with, only to have the floor completely drop out from under you? Well, today's explainer unpacks the world of Wild Legacy. It's this wild narrative that kicks off as a super grounded sci fi tale about a high school science project, but then it rapidly mutates into this massive cosmic epic fantasy. It literally is a masterclass in how to hook an audience by peeling back the layers of a mystery box. So let's explore exactly how this incredible transformation happens. Picture this. We are dropping right into the opening scene. It's a rainy afternoon, and we're inside this cramped, oil-stained shed. You've got these four genius teens, Hoshien, Haruto, Zichen, and Naya, and they're gearing up to launch a small uranium-powered rocket that they've spent 3 long years building. It feels like your classic gritty sci-fi setup, right? But what happens when that single, fateful launch accidentally unearths an ancient, magical conspiracy buried literally right beneath their feet? Which brings us to Layer 1, a sabotaged launch. So the rocket critically fails at 40,000 feet. And while the kids are frantically digging through their homemade code to figure out why, they don't just find a simple software bug. Oh no, they find a hidden message buried deep in the binary. It reads, "They are not ready. You rushed the sky too soon." I mean, talk about a game changer. This instantly shifts the stakes. They aren't just kids messing around with science anymore. They're being watched. And whoever is watching, they clearly think these kids are stepping way out of bounds. And the pacing of this fallout is absolutely relentless. Seriously, at 0 hours, the launch fails. Just 2 hours later, they uncover that sabotaged code. By hour 3, this shadowy stranger in a tattered trench coat just shows up at their shed and drops off a highly advanced glowing watch. And then, by hour 4, following the clues from that weird device, they pry open their shed floorboards and find a rusted hatch, a hatch that leads to a massive underground facility called Vault-01. The escalation from an after-school project to a deep Earth conspiracy happens in literally a single afternoon. Now, we hit Layer 2, the power of the Elder Gems. Down in that vault, they aren't finding normal, everyday technology. They find more of these strange watches, and each one houses what the story calls an Elder Gem. Each teen bonds with a specific gem that gives them the ability to physically transform into these incredibly powerful animal avatars. Hao Tian gets the Dragonstone, meaning he can become a phoenix, a jaguar, or a snake. Nia bonds with the Sunstone, giving her eagle, cheetah, and anaconda forms. Haruto wields the Moonstone for falcon, gorilla, and fox forms, and Zichen gets the Nephrite, turning into a hawk, a raven, or a bear. It is a massive shift in power dynamics. But here's the thing, it's not just a physical change. It comes with something known as animal whispers. This is essentially a telepathic language. It's this deep, instinctual bond that bridges the Elder Gems, their bearers, and the natural world itself. The watches literally whisper to them. They warn the teens of danger with the sounds of growling tigers or hooting owls. It's this incredible blend of ancient animal instincts with high-tech circuitry. So they aren't just strapping on futuristic suits, they are tethering themselves to the living primal forces of nature. Because of this, the narrative sets up an amazing juxtaposition that just keeps you constantly guessing. On one hand, you have these clinical, futuristic sci-fi threats. We're talking a terrifying intruder in a matte black exosuit hunting them through the school halls and vast hidden surveillance networks tracking their every single move. But on the other hand, our heroes are wielding ancient primal magic. They're fighting mystical beings like a nine-tailed ember fox made entirely of living fire. It is literally cold metal and encrypted code clashing head-on with fangs and ancient fire. Let's peel back Layer 3, Secrets Beneath the School. As they explore this massive subterranean complex even deeper beneath their school, they accidentally trigger a console, and it displays this super chilling message. Welcome back, Architect Unit #04. Just think about the implications of that for a second. It hints that these teens might be part of an older repeating cycle. Like, are they replacements? Are they living out a timeline that's already happened before? This single line moves the story from a straightforward conspiracy to something that actually starts bending time and reality. And right after that, an ominous countdown timer appears in the vault. Suddenly, it syncs across all their laptops back on the surface. 18 hours, 27 minutes, and 15 seconds. It is counting down to some unknown event tied to the activation of these vaults. The story masterfully uses this ticking clock to force the characters into action. They don't have the luxury of sitting back and safely studying this mystery. They have to actively survive it. Driven by that looming countdown, They push even further and discover Vault 02, located incredibly deep beneath the school. It's described as this massive underground dome that contains a floating sphere of liquid light. And here's the real kicker. A holographic mat activates inside, revealing that there aren't just 2 vaults, there are 12 of them. 12 vaults scattered all across the globe. And that botched rocket launch from earlier, it acted as a beacon that woke the entire planetary system up. Which takes us to Layer 4, the Forever Ancients. Shifting to a truly cosmic scale now, the teens enter this massive circular room guarded by 5 imposing, shadowy statues. They're carved from dark stone and stand twice the height of a normal person. You have the Forever Earth Mother, the Sky Father, the Tidekeeper, the Flame Warden, and the Veil Walker. These are the Forever Ancients. And they don't just feel like decorative statues, they feel like patient, dormant gods watching over a central plaque. The world building here is just incredibly dense and atmospheric. Right next to this room, they find the Forever Library. And you have to appreciate the sheer scale of this concept. It's a vast underground chamber packed floor to ceiling with ancient, annotated texts and scrolls written in 6 different languages. The dust is so thick it literally muffles their footsteps. Finding this library absolutely proves they aren't dealing with some rogue modern military project. No, this is a legacy stretching back through all of human history, completely hidden from the modern world. Inside this library, embedded under a layer of crystal on a stone plaque, they uncover a cryptic scroll containing their true objective. It reads, "The moon binds, 6 must rise." At this exact moment, everything clicks for the teens. Their gems, their animal transformations, all the sheer chaos of the last few days, it was all just preparation for a much larger, incredibly ancient quest. And that is Layer 5, the Watchbound Pact. The system has recognized them, and they are now formally bound to its rules. The scroll they find brilliantly lays out the exact, actionable steps of their new, crazy reality. Step 1, they have to find 6 ethereal needles scattered and cloaked across the city, which can only be detected by the magical frequencies of their elder gems. Step 2, they must safely place these needles inside a specific, ancient vessel known as the Bag of Holding. And Step 3, which is absolutely critical, they must never let the needles touch until the final hour. The rules are super clear, but actually executing them, that's incredibly dangerous. Because the scroll leaves them with this incredibly heavy warning. Accept this pact and your souls are tethered to the eternal axis. It's a permanent burden. If they refuse it, their magic dies and the whole world falls out of balance. But if they accept, they have to carry the weight of the entire planet on their teenage shoulders. Actually, when Hatian finds the very first needle in a flooded train station, he experiences these blinding visions of the future the exact moment he touches it. The pact is very real, and the stakes are absolutely absolute. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought to take away. They've found 1 needle, but 5 still remain hidden. So what exactly is going to happen when the 6 ethereal needles are finally united? What is the ephemeral moon, and what will it do when it finally returns? Wild Legacy pulls off this incredible genre-bending trick, taking us all the way from a cramped shed with a broken rocket to an ancient magical pact that will literally decide the fate of the world. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep wondering, keep exploring, and I'll catch you on the next one.